Memphis versus Houston, and the opening tip-off is a pinball that's won by Rice, and that's going to be Jasmine Smith coming away with it. And we're officially underway here from the Super Pit on this Thursday afternoon. Sydney Wiggins with it. Wiggins trying to work around defenders, gets to the free throw line, then throws this one to Nancy Mulkey, who is not ready for it, and it goes out of bounds, and that'll send it back to the Mean Green here. 9:43 to play in this opening frame. It's Nia Boyd working it up the floor again. Metzler's Barbecue matchup of the game will be the outside shooting, trying to avoid that 6'9" frame down low with Mulkey. Lee turns and fires and rims it around the edge, and it pops back out, and it's going to be grabbed here defensively by Crossweight. Caitlin Crossweight, the Purcell, Oklahoma native by way of Washington High School, gets this one to Wiggins at the point again. She'll go down low to Mulkey. Mulkey with it at the top of the key, hands it off to Schwartz. Schwartz trying to create some space. She was our Care Now scouting report player to look out for. It's Mulkey down low. Mulkey turning, shot up, no good, but does draw the foul. This one's going to be on Rochelle Lee as she picks up her first personal. That's the first team foul called against the Mean Green here. We'll put Nancy Mulkey onto the free throw line. 72% free throw shooter is Mulkey, pretty good for a center. She makes the first one here. Again, Mulkey from Cypress, Texas, went to Cy Woods High School. Originally went to Oklahoma to play college ball, then transferred to Rice to be closer to home. She makes both free throws here to give Rice a 2-0 lead in the opening minute of this game. It's Nia Boyd with it. Boyd trying to drive down low, sticking around the perimeter still, though. Finds Quincy Noble, slings it outside here to Jackson. Now puts up a shot. That one's good. Nia Boyd with the three-pointer makes it a 3-2 game. And the Mean Green have the lead. It's Wiggins with it back the other way for Rice. Puts up the jumper from the right elbow, sits on the rim, wouldn't go, and Noble comes away with the rebound and now brings this one back up the floor. It's Quincy Noble with it. Noble driving down low, outside to Jazzion Jackson, who fakes a three, then runs it around the perimeter to Maddie Townley. Townley had it poked free for a second, but recovers, slings this one off, and then trips over Crossweight, and that will result in a foul call here on Rice. It's going to be on Crossweight for tripping. First personal, first team foul on Rice. Fresh 20 on the shot clock here, and an inbound for Quincy Noble. Noble puts this one into Nia Boyd. Boyd with it, driving right side, now throws on the brakes and cuts left here from the top of the key. Hands this one off to Quincy Noble. Noble waiting, Noble driving inside, gets a pass here to Rochelle Lee. Lee's shot pops in and out, would not go, and the rebound taken by Mulkey here for Rice. They get it up the floor now, it's Smith with it. Smith holding on to it, switching around towards the left side, hands it off to Wiggins, who kicks it back over to Schwartz. They work it around the corner now here, onto the wing, being held there by Crossweight, then gets it back to Schwartz. Schwartz pivoting on her left foot, finds Smith. Smith, 9 seconds to shoot outside for three. That one in and out, no good, and Jackson comes away with the rebound for the Mean Green. Jazzion Jackson with it right up the middle of the floor, now peels off towards the left side, slings it to an open Rochelle Lee, and then it pops free as coming in and breaking it up was Lauren Schwartz, but it'll stay with the Mean Green with 23 seconds still here on the shot clock in a 3-2 Mean Green advantage in what's been a low-scoring start to this game. 7.5 minutes still to play as Jackson gets the inbound to Quincy Noble. Noble fadeaway jumper that gets airballed, and Schwartz snags this one out of the sky, and now she'll turn back up the floor. It is Lauren Schwartz with it. Union, Kentucky native, gets this one to Crossweight, now finds Wiggins on the near wing. Wiggins goes back up top to Crossweight, who faked a three, then steps up, puts up a long jumper, no good, and Quincy Noble comes away with the rebound. Noble, stretch pass here over to Nia Boyd. Boyd getting down low to Lee, and Lee finishes it off. Excellent vision there from Nia Boyd to get the pass to Rochelle Lee, and that makes it a 5-2 Mean Green advantage here. 6:55 and counting to go in this opening quarter. Driving inside, they kick it outside to Wiggins, shot up, that one no good. Mulkey fighting for the rebound, had it poked free though by Rochelle Lee, and Maddie Townley comes away with it instead. Townley throws on the brakes, puts up the jumper, in and out, still wouldn't go. Then a fight for the rebound, and Townley saves it, I think, off of a Rice player, and she did. So it'll stay with North Texas here. 5-2 Mean Green advantage. Again, Rice receiving votes in the coaches poll this week, 12 of them. That would put them hypothetically at 28th out of the 25. Not enough to crack the top 25. Here's a shot up by Rochelle Lee that's no good. Had a little too much on it. Now a fast break the other way for Rice. Here's a shot up and got it for Crossweight. Makes it a 5-4 ball game. 6:20 to play here in the first quarter as now Nia Boyd works this one up the floor. Boyd with it, kicks it to Townley at the point. She'll swing it around to Jazzion Jackson. Finds Quincy Noble with it. Noble trying to get around defenders. Noble, a little floater. Got it to go. Quincy Noble just over the outstretched arm of Nancy Mulkey. And that makes it a 7-4 Mean Green advantage. North Texas really trying to go with those shots from outside the paint to compensate for Mulkey's size, as she now has the ball here at the top of the key, looking for somebody down low, has to hand this one off to Smith. They swing it outside to Crossweight, who puts up the three and drills it. 7-7 ball game as Crossweight fires off the three-pointer. She's got 5 points now in this game, and it's a 7-7 even ball game at the Super Pit. It's now Nia Boyd with it, gets the pass off to Rochelle Lee. Lee turning on Mulkey, gets it back over to Jackson, who takes her point at the top of the key. Now Jackson driving inside, outside here to shot from, Maddie Townley wouldn't go, and then grabbing the rebound is Jasmine Smith. She'll get this one to Crossweight, throws on the brakes, puts up the shot, too much on it, and the rebound taken by Rochelle Lee. She'll get it to Nia Boyd as now they turn and rile up the floor again. Nia Boyd with it. Point, faking, driving, nice spin move, just getting it over Mulkey, but shot had a little too much on it, no good. Mulkey got the rebound. Now here's Wiggins on the fast break. Wiggins right to the cup with the left hand and lays it in. 9-7, Rice in front now. Mean Green back the other way with it as the scoring starting to pick up. We're under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. It's Quincy Noble. Noble faking, driving inside. Noble shot and a foul called on Mulkey. Second team foul on Rice. And a timeout. 9-7. The Owls in front. There'll be free throws for Quincy Noble out of this timeout. Noble 76% from the free throw line, and she makes the first one here. Makes it 9-8. Second attempt for Noble. That one in and out, no good, and Schwartz comes away with the rebound. Back up the floor. She'll get this one to Smith. Now down to Swayze, who's checked into the game. There's a nice bullet of a pass over to Schwartz. And Schwartz able to finish it off. 11-8 is the score. Destiny Brooks now in the game. She'll get this one to Maddie Townley. Townley pivoting, throws one up, couldn't get it free, and it's stolen away here by Bellamy. Bellamy, high pass again to Swayze. Swayze coming down with it. Swayze lays it up and in. And Rice collecting some points on fast breaks here, concurrently 13-8. The Owls in front. They made 3 of their last 3 field goals. Boyd running the offense with her right hand, dribbling with her left. Gets a high pass over here to Rochelle Lee. Lee puts up the jumper. That one well off the marker. Airballs it and goes directly out of bounds. And I believe a timeout's going to be taken by... Here's the inbound to Destiny Jackson. She'll get this one up to Wiggins, who finds Swayze. Almost poked free there for a second by Brooks. Instead, they go back to Wiggins. Wiggins adjusting. Wiggins finds this one down low to Bellamy. Bellamy turning. High shot, no good. Tamisha Lampkin grabs the rebound, and they get the outlet here to Nia Boyd, who brings this one right up the floor. Nia Boyd with it, driving down low, trying to get around a player. A pass rather. Deflected off the hand of Schwartz, who was anticipating it, and it goes out of bounds. 23 seconds. Still on the shot clock here for the Mean Green, who have not made a field goal in nearly 3 minutes. Boyd, quick inbound to Tamisha Lampkin, goes up top again here for Nia Boyd. Boyd with it, back over to Noble. Noble being guarded closely. Noble creating some space. Noble shot had way too much on it. Again, that's 3 straight air balls for the Mean Green. Here's a home run pass stolen away by Destiny Brooks, and Brooks fighting through defenders. Now working it up to the wing, gets it to Quincy Noble. Noble's 3, almost got it to land, and she's fouled. It's going to be on India Bellamy. She gets called for her first. Third Rice team foul, and now I believe 3 free throws coming up here for Quincy Noble. First attempt is good for Noble, again coming into the free throw line. Second attempt is also good, makes it 13-10. Third attempt is in and out, no good, and then a fight for the rebound is going to be claimed by Bellamy for Rice. She'll get this one to Wiggins. Wiggins with it, finds Swayze, gets it to Schwartz. Schwartz back up top here to Jackson at the point. They go to the outside. Here's a 3, lasered in from Haley Swayze. 44% on the year from 3. And she's got a 3-pointer here, makes it a 16-10 Rice advantage. Noble with it. Noble puts up a 3-pointer. That one airballed and then goes out of bounds. (16-10) Rice advantage here. Mean Green, 1 of their last 9 shooting. Haven't made a field goal in about 4 minutes. It is Jackson with it up the floor for Rice. The Mansfield product grew up nearby in the Metroplex. Now it's Smith with it at the point, being guarded by Lampkin. Smith's just going to put up the 3, and she drills it again. 3's raining down for Rice. They've got 3 of them here, and it's a 19-10 Owl advantage. Boyd to Jackson, back to Townley again with it. Townley finds Nia Boyd. Boyd working around, Boyd backing up, now shifting direction. Working over to the point, finds Brooks. 7 seconds to shoot. Brooks goes back up top to Boyd. 5 seconds, step back 3 from Nia Boyd. That one well off the mark, no good. A fight for the rebound though, Lampkin gets it, but a shot clock violation as it never found the rim. Still a 19-10 lead here. Back-to-back 3s for Rice on a 6-0 run over the last minute and 20 seconds. They've made 5 of their last 6. It is Smith on the wing. She'll go up to the point, finds Jackson, works it around to Swayze again, who's got a couple 3-pointers in this game. Down to 8, down to 7, pass down low to Swayze, and then dribbles it out of bounds. Neal checking into the game here for the Mean Green as they continue with the rotation. There's the inbound to Jazzion Jackson, and now she'll bring this one up the floor. Jazzion with it, working towards the left side, steps back, now tries to drive up the middle again, spinning around, throws on the brakes, and traveled. Nancy Mulkey now checking back in. Rice gets a 6-0 run going without Mulkey on the floor. Now she's checked back into this contest. 19-10 is the score as we roll under a minute to play here in this first quarter. Wiggins to Jackson. Goes down low to Wiggins, turning, almost tried to get it off. Now gets a weird pass to Mulkey, and that one's going to be stolen out of the sky by Tanisha Lampkin. She'll get it to Jackson, who now runs up the middle. Jackson with it to the outside, cuts back, lost it for a second, goes outside to Kira Neal from 3, and Kira Neal knocks down the 3-pointer. 19-13, shot clock off, 17 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Rice looking to take the final shot here. It's Jasmine Smith with it. Some confusion offensively as they try and shift personnel around. Is now Wiggins, 6, down to 5. Wiggins outside to Swayze. Swayze goes baseline right at the buzzer. Shot up, no good. Rebound claimed by Kira Neal, and the first quarter comes to an end. So a late 3-pointer from... It'll be Mean Green ball here to start off this second quarter. Quincy Noble inbounding into Jazzion Jackson, and the second quarter underway here from the Super Pit on this Thursday night. It's Jackson with it to start. Jackson jumper from the free throw line, and Jazzion Jackson knocks it down. Makes it a 4-point game, 19-15. Owls in front. Smith with it. Creates some space on Jackson. Gets a pass here that Crossweight was not ready for, and it just goes out of bounds. So it'll be Mean Green ball. Neal with the inbound to Jazzion Jackson, and play back underway here from the Super Pit. Jackson on the wing, now runs up to the free throw line, backs it up now, gets it outside to Quincy Noble. Noble driving down low, slings a pass to Lampkin, who wasn't ready for it, barely saves it from going out of bounds, and now she has to adjust here, puts up the jumper, blocked by Nancy Mulkey, and Mulkey gets it right back down here to Smith, and Smith comes up the floor. Jasmine Smith with it, gets a pass over here to Schwartz, finds her on the outside. This is going to be Crosweight with it, down low to Mulkey, handed it off, or no, fake to hand off to Crosweight. Mulkey getting this one right back, and then whistles and a foul going to be called here on the Mean Green. This one's going to be on Kira Neal. First personal foul on Neal, first team foul on the Mean Green here in this 19-15 ball game. It's Mulkey with it, gets this one outside now to Crosweight. Crosweight pivoting around, hands it off to Smith. Instead goes down low to Mulkey. Mulkey shot jumper, had too much on it, and then it's poked free, but offensively still taken by Wiggins, and the offense can reset here for Rice, and then we get whistles and another foul going to be called on the Mean Green. This one's going to be on Tamisha Lampkin. She gets called for her first, second team foul on the Mean Green. And now here's Smith with the inbound, finds Wiggins, being guarded by Neal. Turning around, high pass to Mulkey. Mulkey turning, firing, and knocks it down. And Nancy Mulkey gets her second set of points, first field goal of this game, makes it 21-15 Rice. Jackson with it. Jackson dribbling up. Jackson step back jumper. That one just off the mark, no good. A fight for the rebound coming in and out of bounds, and it will be Mean Green ball as it hit Mulkey on her way out. He's going to check out here as India Bellamy comes back into the game. There's the inbound to Jackson. Jackson with it on the outside, slings it to Kira Neal. Neal pivoting. Neal getting a high pass that goes over everybody and out of bounds. Back to Rice with 8:12 to play here in the second quarter. Smith with it at the point. They try and set up the screen with Bellamy. Instead, they go back over to Schwartz, who gets it to Smith. Now hands it off to Wiggins, and then an offensive foul called back on Rice. This one's going to be on Jasmine Smith. Picks up her first personal foul. First Rice team foul here of this second quarter as Jackson brings it across the timeline for the Mean Green. Jackson faking, getting around Wiggins, puts up the long jumper, and Jazzion Jackson knocks it down. She's got 4 points in this contest here, 21-17, as North Texas sticking close with Rice at the moment. It's Bellamy, gets this one back over to Crosweight. Works it around the perimeter, down low to Crosweight again. Crosweight under pressure and looking, trying to sling this one out to Wiggins, who puts up the three-point ball. That one off the mark, no good. And coming down with it is Jackson defensively for North Texas. Jackson bringing this one up the floor. Gets it outside now to Noble. Goes down low to Lampkin. Lampkin creating space. Shot didn't able to get it through. There's a fight for it on the floor. Still popping free. Still getting it to Lampkin. Lampkin puts it up. Shot and the foul for Tamisha Lampkin. What a sequence there for the Mean Green as they somehow come away with that ball off of a miss, and Lampkin gets it and the foul. It's on Wiggins as she picks up her first personal. What a bizarre sequence that was. No one could ever grab possession and kept kind of pinballing around, and here's Lampkin on the free throw, and that one's no good. And the rebound taken by Rice. It's now Swayze the other way with it. No relation to Patrick. Wiggins gets this one off to Schwartz. Schwartz with it to Smith on the outside. Goes back up top to Swayze. Works this one down to Schwartz on the wing. Goes point again for Swayze. Swayze trying to drive inside, getting through traffic, lays this one up, but had too much on it, and Lampkin gets the rebound. She'll sling it over now to Jazzion Jackson, who brings this one up the middle. 21-19 is the score. Rice in front, 6:40 to go in the second quarter. It is Jackson, bounces this one to Lampkin. Lampkin slings it outside to Brooks. Down low to Lampkin, lost control of it for a second, and then able to draw a foul. Count this one on India Bellamy. She gets called for her second. That'll put Tamisha Lampkin onto the free throw line. Lampkin a 45% free throw shooter. Lampkin's first free throw attempt is good. Makes it a 1-point game. Second attempt for Lampkin is also good. We are knotted up here at 21. Rice looking for their first points of any kind in more than 2 minutes of action here. Wiggins, high pass over to Mulkey. Mulkey turning, looking. Mulkey hands it off to Schwartz. Schwartz then lost control of it for a second, but regains possession, gets a pass to Mulkey. Mulkey's shot may have been blocked by Neal, and then Neal on the second attempt is going to pick up a foul. It's Kira Neal's second personal foul. Bit of a 6-0 run here right now for North Texas. And that'll put Nancy Mulkey onto the free throw line. She's a perfect 2 for 2. Again, one of the rare centers who is a good free throw shooter. First attempt here for Mulkey's in and out, though. No good. Second attempt is good for Mulkey, and that gives Rice the 1-point lead at 22-21. 6:17 to play here in the quarter. Nia Boyd back into the game as Kira Neal checks out. And Nia Boyd brings this one across the timeline for the Mean Green. Boyd with it. Gets it to Emma Villas, who's checked in now. Destiny Brooks from 3-point range. That one no good, and Mulkey gets the rebound for Rice. She'll sling this one over to Smith, and now Smith comes up the floor. Smith to Wiggins. High pass over to Mulkey. Mulkey looking around. Mulkey, and whistles and a foul going to be called here on North Texas. This one on Emma Villas. North Texas foul starts number 33. Emma Villas. Her first. 14 foul called against the Mean Green as now Wiggins gets the inbound here to Mulkey. Gives it to Smith. Smith with it, works it around to Wiggins. Wiggins had it poked free, and it's going to be stolen away by Jackson, and Jackson goes right up the middle with it. Jackson to the cup, lays it up and lays it in. And the Mean Green retake the lead at 23-22 with 5.5 to play here in the second quarter. Jazzion Jackson's got 6 in this contest. Wiggins with it. High pass down low to Schwartz. Schwartz turning and traveled. The inbound to Nia Boyd, and she'll now bring this one up the floor for the Mean Green. 5:13 and counting to play here in the second quarter. 1-point Mean Green lead. Here's a 2 put up by Emma Villas. That one's well off the mark, and then a home run pass now over to Swayze. Waits for the rest of the offense to follow her up. Now works this one around to the point, slings it to Wiggins, across now to Swayze, puts up the 3. That one's off the mark, no good. Rather, that was Schwartz on the 3-point attempt, and Quincy Noble gets the rebound. Noble right up the middle. Noble faking inside, driving, bounce pass to nobody. And it goes out of bounds. And a timeout will be taken. We will take it as well. 4:47 to play here in the second quarter. North Texas in front of Rice. Rice ball here out of the timeout. It's going to be Smith with it, bringing it up the floor. Finds Schwartz, gets it across to Swayze, who finds Wiggins now on the wing. Wiggins with it. Working around to the point, now going back from when she came, finds Mulkey at the top of the key, gets this one off to Swayze, who drives down low. Swayze, right-handed layup up and good, and that breaks a 4-minute field goal drought for Rice and gives them the lead back at 24-23. It's now Nia Boyd with it. Boyd working around. Boyd, a jumper from the free throw line, in and out, no good, and Mulkey gets the rebound. She'll now hand this one off to Smith, who brings it right up the middle of the floor and now stops at the point. Smith with it, hands this one off now to Swayze, finds Wiggins again, across to Schwartz. Schwartz holding on to it, pass down low to Mulkey. Mulkey trying to turn on Villas, turn, shot, wouldn't get through, and Villas gets the rebound. She'll get this one to Jackson, who now heads to the outside. Jackson with it, going back up, passes this one off to Villas. Emma Villas, a little hook shot, got it to land. Emma Villas back the other way with it. Now here's an awkward pass that's going to be stolen away by Jazzion Jackson, and Jackson comes back up the floor. Outside here to Nia Boyd. Boyd hanging onto it to Jackson. Jackson puts up the three-point ball, just off the mark, no good, and Swayze with the rebound for Rice. Drags it across the timeline, now hands it off to Smith. Smith with it, finds Mulkey. Mulkey not really able to get going here. Here's a pass down low to Schwartz, and a foul will be called on Destiny Brooks. That's the 15th foul against the Mean Green, so that'll put Rice into the bonus here for the remaining 3:15 of this quarter. That'll put Lauren Schwartz onto the free throw line. The best free throw, second best free throw shooter, on this team, 86%. Rice got some good free throw shooters. Sydney Wiggins up at 89%, but for the Union Kentucky native by way of Ryle High School, this is the first one. Mean Green in front, 25-24. Here's the second attempt. That one's good, and that knots us up at 25. Jazzion Jackson now with it across the timeline. 25 apiece here, 3:07 to play. Is Jackson with it. Jackson had it pop free there, but Emma Villas able to pick it up. Now gets it back to Jackson, back to Villas, who now drives inside around Mulkey. Shot up, maybe blocked that time by Mulkey. She'll get the loose ball, finds this one over to Smith, who goes down low to Schwartz. Schwartz had it stolen away by Jackson, and Jackson's got nobody in front of her, but the other Jackson coming up behind her, but no matter, as she had a huge lead in Jazzion Jackson, able to beat out the rush from Destiny Jackson to be able to lay it up and in. 27-25 is the score. 2.5 minutes here to play in this second quarter. It's now Nancy Mulkey with it at the top of the key. Hands this one off to Schwartz. Schwartz dropping back. Schwartz looking. Schwartz puts up the jumper. That one off the mark, no good. And Kira Neal comes away with the rebound. Neal running up the middle, gets it outside to Quincy Noble. Noble down low to Emma Villas, who's double teamed, finds Kira Neal. Neal turning, firing, awkward shot, just would not go. And the rebound taken by Destiny Jackson. Jackson for Rice. Up the floor with it. 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Finds Schwartz, gets this one over to Wiggins. Rice just one of their last 7 from the floor. Gets a high pass to Mulkey, and it goes nowhere. .155 to play here. North Texas trying to end this half on a positive note, and they have certainly made a strong attempt to here, as Rice has not scored by a field goal in 2.5 minutes and counting. It's Nia Boyd with it back the other way. Boyd trying to drive inside. Boyd outside to Emma Villas. This will be from 2, and Emma Villas knocks it down. 29-25. North Texas heating up here from the floor, shooting 34% after going 25 in the first half, or first quarter rather. It's now Crosway, just puts up a 3. That one no good. Fight for the rebound taken by Nia Boyd. Now Boyd back the other way with it. Boyd going to the outside for Jackson. Jackson driving down low, gets it to Villas. Villas turning, firing shot, and it's good for Emma Villas. And a timeout taken by Rice. North Texas fired up. Some confusion here with the officials. Not sure what they're checking with, but they just talked to the scores table. Here's the inbound to Smith, and she'll bring this one up the floor here for Rice as they're trying to plug the lid on what's become a 6-0 run for the Mean Green. It's Jackson with it. Jackson looking around, now walking over towards the point here, cutting back left side again, turns, swings it over to Bellamy. Bellamy hanging on to it, hands this one off now to Croswaite. Croswaite gets it down to Bellamy, being guarded by Emma Villas, turning, shot up, no good, and foul. Foul is on Emma Villas. She picks up her second. And India Bellamy, who's just a 50% free throw shooter, will now head to the free throw line. First attempt is good. It snaps a 2-minute, 34-second scoring drought for Rice. Makes it 31-26, 5-point game. Second attempt is off the front of the rim, no good, and Kira Neal comes away with the rebound. Neal brings this one up the floor, about an 11-second difference right now between the shot clock and the game clock. It is Jackson with it. Jackson trying to work around defenders. Jazzion Jackson down low, step back, got this one to Nia Boyd, who has to run to the outside now. 13 to shoot, 12 to shoot. It's Quincy Noble, high pass, turned over that time as Bellamy comes away with the steal. Here's a high pass to Jackson. Jackson barely fighting through. Jackson getting around defenders, and Jackson gets it in off the glass. 12 seconds to go in the quarter as they bring this one up. It is North Texas with it. It is Nia Boyd. 5 seconds. Boyd with the jumper just off the mark. No good. Jackson comes down with the rebound, and that is how this half will come to an end. So it closes with a little 3-point run for Rice. It'll be Wiggins inbounding this one to Jasmine Smith, and the second half officially underway here from the Super Pit. It's now Schwartz with it. She'll get this one over to Croswaite. Croswaite holding on back to Schwartz. Gets this one to Wiggins again on the far wing. Holding on to it there. Now dribbling. Gets this one back up across to Smith. Works it around now to Schwartz on to Mulkey. Mulkey with it. 8 to shoot. Had it poked free for a second, but regains possession. Now gets it to a streaking Schwartz, and Schwartz lays it up and in. Makes it 31-30. Nia Boyd with it, hands it off to Jazzion Jackson. Jackson working around, faked a jumper, now goes back to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it. Across to Quincy Noble, slings it down low. It's going to be turned over and taken away here by Wiggins. Wiggins with it up the floor, kicks this one outside. This will be a three-pointer, in and out, no good, but Noble gets the rebound, and now she'll bring it up the floor. Quincy Noble gets this one to Maddie Townley, back to Noble, works it around now to Boyd on the outside. Nia Boyd driving through. Boyd kicks this one out to Townley. Townley on the jumper, short, no good, but an offensive rebound from Lee. Goes back outside now to Jackson on the long two, and Jazzion Jackson's in double figures now with 10 points. And the Mean Green lead back up to 3. 33-30 is the score. 8:40 to play here in this third quarter. Here's a high pass down low to Smith, who now has to work her way out. Goes to Wiggins, sends it back to Croswaite. Across now to Schwartz, who goes down low to Mulkey. Mulkey turning, firing, shot. Didn't even find the rim, and it's taken away by Maddie Townley. She'll get this one back down to Nia Boyd. Boyd working around. Boyd faking. Boyd, jumper. Just in and out, no good, but Townley with the rebound puts it back up, still would not go. Another fight for the rebound. This one's going to be taken by Smith, and Rice has numbers back the other way. It's a 4-on-2. Spinning, Smith, high pass, stolen away that time by Maddie Townley. She'll get this one up to Jazzion Jackson. Jackson puts it up from three-point range, and Jazzion Jackson on fire. 36-30. 13 points for the Dallas Skyline product. 7:45 to play here in the second quarter. 6-point Mean Green advantage. It's Croswaite now with it. High pass over to Nancy Mulkey. Mulkey trying to turn. Mulkey pivoting shot. Got it, and the foul for Nancy Mulkey. Count the basket, and the foul called on Rochelle Lee as Lee picks up her second personal foul. Now a chance at a three-point play here for Mulkey. Cy Woods product. 3 of 4 on the day from the free throw line. And the free throw is good to complete the three-point play. 36-33. North Texas still in front. It's now Nia Boyd with it. Boyd Working it across, Boyd to Jackson. Jackson from three-point range again, just off the mark, no good. And Crossway gets the rebound, and then a home run pass to Wiggins. Wiggins somehow comes down with it after having to kind of win a race there against Nia Boyd. And then it was poked free and then almost stolen away by Jackson. Jackson got a hand on it. It's still on the court, though, and it's picked up by Schwartz. They'll get this one back over to Wiggins from three-point range. That one well short, no good, and Townley gets the rebound. Hands this one off to Nia Boyd, who works it up the middle. Boyd gets it to Lampkin. Lampkin turning, finds Jackson, who has to work it to the outside now. Jazzion Jackson gets it back over to Nia Boyd. Boyd directing traffic, finds Quincy Noble. Noble with it, driving down low. Noble gets this one to Lampkin. Lampkin lays it up and in. Great ball movement there by the Mean Green. The assist to Quincy Noble on the shot from Tamisha Lampkin. 38-35. Mean Green are in front. 6.5 minutes to play. Wiggins with it. Wiggins around. Wiggins driving inside. Wiggins almost has it stolen by Nia Boyd, but Smith able to come down with it. Instead, Smith going up. Shot almost blocked by Jazzion Jackson, but a foul called on the Mean Green. Or no, they're going to call it on Quincy Noble, rather, not Jazzion Jackson. Take a 15-second pause here as they work on trying to patch up Jazzion Jackson, who got cut. We'll now tape her up. So now to go to Jasmine Smith on the free throw line. She's a 69% free throw shooter. And the first one is in after taking a couple seconds there to decide what it wanted to do. 38-34. Second attempt also good. Makes it 38-35. Still a three-point Mean Green advantage as now North Texas takes it back up the floor. It's Jazzion Jackson with it. Jackson working, Jackson faking, gets this one to Lampkin driving inside. Lampkin tried to turn it around Mulkey, who blocked it but gets her own rebound, kicks it back outside to Noble. Noble, high shot off the glass, no good. Lampkin on the putback and whistles and a foul called on Rice. This is going to be on Jasmine Smith as she gets called for her second personal. Foul was on the floor, so it'll stay with the Mean Green here off of an inbound. Nancy Mulkey picking up her third block on that last sequence of this game. It's now Jackson, gets it to Noble. Noble with it, driving down low. Quincy Noble, jumper that was airballed, but Townley alertly grabbing it, gets it back to Lampkin, goes outside to Townley. Townley with it, finds Noble on the outside, blocked that time again by Mulkey. And now back the other way comes Rice. Here's a home run pass to Croswaite, right on target, but the shot no good. Gets her own rebound, puts it back, still would not land. Townley fighting for the rebound, comes through with it, and pokes it up front now to Noble. Noble being guarded closely, then had it stolen away again there by Jasmine Smith. Smith on Jackson turning, would not go either. They say a block there by Jackson, who brings it back up the floor. Jackson outside to Neal, fake to three, driving inside, trying to get the pass off, coming away with the loose ball. They work it around now to Quincy Noble. Noble with it, driving inside, slings it here to Lampkin. Lampkin shot up, no good. Gets her own rebound, though. Another shot blocked away by Mulkey. And then Smith comes away with it. And Nancy Mulkey now with 5 blocks in this contest. It is Wiggins with it. North Texas just one of their last 8 shooting. Rice not much better, one of their last 7. It turned into a defensive game here. It's Mulkey down low with it, turning. 7 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Mulkey hands this one off to Smith. Smith getting through traffic. Smith lays it up and in. Makes it a 1-point game, 38-37. 4.5 to play here in the third quarter. Jackson working around defenders. Slings this one back to Jackson. Jackson thought about a three, driving inside, puts up the long jumper. Too much on it, no good, and Mulkey comes away with the rebound. Nancy Mulkey's 9th board of this game. She'll get it to Smith. Is now a 2.5-minute scoring drought for the Mean Green has allowed Rice to crawl back in from the 6-point deficit they faced. It's Crosway with it down to Mulkey. Mulkey working, Mulkey turning. Hands this one off now to Smith, who puts up the three-point ball. That one's off the mark, no good. Lampkin gets the rebound and hands it off to Jazzion Jackson. Jackson up the floor, high pass to Townley, who comes down with it. Gets this one back over now to Jackson. Finds Lampkin. Across now to Quincy Noble. Noble with it, little step back jumper, just off the mark, no good. And that one goes out of bounds off of a Rice player. That's Schwartz. Jackson looking to get it to somebody. They go all the way back up top to Emma Villas, who then hands it off to Maddie Townley. Townley goes back to Villas. Across now to Kira Neal. Neal from the point, working over towards the wing, hands it off to Townley, across to Destiny Brooks, around the perimeter to Jackson, now to Emma Villas. Shot up and good off the backboard, and Emma Villas has a new Mean Green career high with 8 points. 40-37, back up to a 3-point lead. That snaps his scoring drought for the Mean Green. It's their first shot hit in 9 attempts. It's now Nancy Mulkey with it. Mulkey had it poked free there by Jackson, then goes out of bounds and stays with Rice. The inbound to Mulkey up top, hands this one off to Wiggins. And now Wiggins will slow things down. Now looks to speed it up again, gets it off to Smith. Smith, 5 to shoot. Smith, 4. Smith running out of time. Smith with a 3 right at the horn, no good. A scramble for the rebound, and it's Maddie Townley who comes away with it. She'll find Jackson. They go all the way across to Destiny Brooks. Gets this one to Emma Villas, who had it poked free, but then Jackson somehow saving it, and it's going to be grabbed by Kira Neal, and now the offense can set up. What a fast-paced game this has become. Jackson looking. Jackson under pressure. Outside to Emma Villas. Villas with it, fighting through traffic. Villas lost control of it, and it goes out of bounds and will stay or go back to Rice. Still a 40-37 Mean Green lead here. Rice just one of their last 7. They haven't scored in nearly 4 minutes now. This has kind of become a game of runs, so to speak. Swayze with it. Swayze's checked back into the game, finds Bellamy. Bellamy looking, double team, gets this one outside to Wiggins, who puts up the jumper, and Wiggins knocks it down. Nothing but net there on that shot. 40-39 is the score as we hit 1:45 to play here in this third quarter. Townley with it. Jackson goes back up top now to Kira Neal. Neal with it. Neal driving inside. Neal right to the cup, and Kira Neal lays it up and in. 42-39 is the score. It's Neal now with 5 points in this contest. Swayze just going to put up the 3. That one well off the mark, no good. And Brooks comes away with the rebound for North Texas. She'll bring this back up the floor. Zings this one to Jackson. High pass to Villas, who lost control of it and then almost stolen away again by the Mean Green. But now Jackson of Rice comes away with it. Jackson up the middle. Jackson pivoting, turning. Shot up, no good, but a foul called on the Mean Green. It's going to be on Jazzion Jackson, as North Texas thought there should have been a foul call. Put Destiny Jackson onto the free throw line here to shoot a pair. She's a 59% free throw shooter in her 15th game this season. First one here is good, and that makes it a 42-40 game. Second attempt for Jackson. The left-handed shot, good. Makes it 42-41. Snaps a 4-minute scoring drought there for Rice. And now it's North Texas here as we roll under a minute to play in the quarter. Jackson over to Emma Villas driving down low. Villas looking, Villas pivoting. Villas finds Jackson. Jackson waiting, double team, just goes right through both of them, puts the shot up and gets it to land. Jazzion Jackson. Thought she should have been fouled on the play as well, but no call. Now back the other way with it is Wiggins. Wiggins directing traffic, gets this one back over to Jackson, across to Bellamy. Bellamy just going to put up the three-pointer. That one's off the mark, no good. Kira Neal gets the rebound. Shot clock is off, 23 seconds and counting here to play as North Texas can try and take the last shot. It's Jazzion Jackson with it. 10 seconds as now the offense starts to roll. Jackson with it. Jackson to Emma Villas. Villas from long range. That one just off the mark, no good. Rebound taken there by Swayze. Swayze up the floor, and Swayze runs out of time. 44-41 is the score. North Texas. It'll be North Texas ball to start off this fourth and final quarter. Nia Boyd has it. Boyd working around defenders. Boyd from the point gets this one down low to Villas off a deflection. Emma Villas turning, firing, wouldn't land, and the rebound taken by Wiggins. Wiggins comes back up the floor, slings this one outside to Schwartz. Schwartz puts up the long jumper and drains it. 44-43 is the score. Nia Boyd back up the other way with it. Boyd working around. Boyd outside to Villas. Hands this one off to Kira Neal. Neal back to Boyd. Boyd faking around. Boyd over to Villas, faking a shot. Now driving. Kicks this one right back to Boyd. 9 to shoot. Boyd with it. Floater up and rolls around and lands for Nia Boyd. Boyd now with 5 points in this contest. Jackson with it for Rice as she'll bring it across the timeline, gets it to Wiggins, and it's jumped by Kira Neal. Kira Neal back the other way. Neal lays it up and lays it in for Kira Neal. 48-43, Mean Green in front. Jackson with it back the other way for Rice. Hands this one off to Swayze, finds Schwartz. Schwartz from the point, bounces this one off to Wiggins. Wiggins, high pass over to Bellamy. Bellamy being guarded. Bellamy looking, gets this one to Wiggins. Wiggins looking, stepping back. Wiggins now driving inside. Wiggins turning, lost it. It's going to be stolen away by Emma Villas, who goes right up the middle. Villas with it, throws on the brakes, finds Noble. Noble driving inside. Quincy Noble shot up, hit the underside of the rim, no good. And then the rebound taken here by Swayze. She'll come back up the floor. Swayze with it. Kicks it back over to Schwartz. Finds Jackson again. Jackson with it. High pass now over to Bellamy. Bellamy to Wiggins, shot up, got it to land. Makes it 48-45. Wiggins now with 6 points in this contest, and it's Nia Boyd with it. Back up the way for the Mean Green. Nia Boyd. Boyd trying to get around a screen set up. Boyd going right to the cup. Boyd shot up, was blocked that time. A fight for the rebound is going to be taken by Swayze, and now Swayze comes up the other way. Swayze looking, rotates over to her right, then kicks it back to Jackson. Jackson finds Wiggins. Wiggins working around. Gets this pass off to Bellamy. Bellamy finds Jackson. Jackson shot up and got it to land. Tough shot there. And a timeout will be taken. We will take it as well. 48-47 is the... There's the inbound to Jazzion Jackson, who's checked back into the game. 1 point Mean Green lead here, 7:13 and counting to play here in this fourth quarter. Jackson finds it to Kira Neal. Neal with it, hands it off to Quincy Noble. Noble goes outside to Nia Boyd. Boyd puts up the three-point ball just off the mark, no good, and then goes out of bounds off of Wiggins, so it'll stay with the Mean Green. Noble with the inbound here to Jackson. Or rather, that is Boyd with it. She'll sling it to Noble. Noble trying to drive through traffic. Noble shot up too much on it, though, and the rebound is going to be taken by Smith. And here comes Jasmine Smith back the other way. Slings this one outside. Thought about a three, didn't take it. Instead goes back to Smith off the pass from Crossway. It's this one over now to Schwartz, who finds Wiggins on the wing. Wiggins with it, being guarded by Neal. Goes over now to Crossway, to back across to Schwartz, who holds on to it. Schwartz with 10 seconds to shoot. Just going to put up the three-point ball and absolutely drill it. And Rice takes a 2-point lead, 50-48 with 6:21 to play. Jackson with it. Jazzion Jackson throws on the brakes, goes outside here to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it down low. Boyd driving, Boyd spinning under duress, has to come back up top. High pass over to Kieran Neal. Neal with it driving down low. Neal lost control of it. It's going to be taken away by Wiggins, who finds Smith. Smith now coming up the floor with it. 7-0 run now for Rice over the last 2 minutes to retake the lead. Wiggins with it. Going back from when she came, finds Mulkey. Mulkey dribbling. Mulkey looking for someone to get it to. Mulkey turning, thought about a shot, didn't take it. She's in trouble. 5 seconds to shoot. It's still loose on the floor. Coming away with it, one right at the buzzer and drills it at the shot clock. Goes off. Oh my goodness, what a possession there for Rice, and what a backbreaker for North Texas. 53-48, it's a 10-0 run for Rice. Neal with it, fakes a three. Neal steps up, blocked that time by Mulkey. And Rice is suddenly stepping on the throat of North Texas. Crossway. Smith. Wiggins. Over to Schwartz on the wing. Goes back to Wiggins. Wiggins driving in. Wiggins gets it to Mulkey. Mulkey puts it up and in. And a timeout's going to be taken here by North Texas. 12. North Texas trying to get some sort of offensive spark here going before they run out of time. 4:49 to play in this fourth quarter. There's the inbound to Jackson. She'll bring this one up the floor. Now North Texas trying to eat into this 7-point Rice lead. Jackson with it. Jackson looking, goes outside here to Brooks. Back to Jackson in the corner. Jazzion Jackson with it, still to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it, switches off, hands it to Townley. Townley to Jackson. Jackson's going to put up the three ball and drill it. Jazzion Jackson with a prompt three-pointer. She's got 18 points. A point shy of her career high here in a mean green uniform. 55-51 is now the score. Wiggins goes down low to Schwartz. Schwartz underneath, and Schwartz lays it up and in. Back to Jackson. It's it to Destiny Brooks. Brooks puts up the three-pointer. Brooks knocks it down. Back-to-back three-pointers for the mean green. 57-54. It's now Smith with it back the other way. Over to Schwartz. Schwartz with it. 6-2 run here for North Texas. Crossweight hanging on to it. 9 to shoot. Crossweight backing up. Crossweight looking. Puts up the three-pointer. Rainbow arc pops in and out, and Jackson comes away with the rebound. Now Jazzion Jackson back the other way with it. Jackson shot up. No good, but draws the foul. 69% free throw shooter for Jazzion Jackson. And she'll head to the line for the first time in this game. First one goes. Second attempt, also good for Jazzion Jackson, and somehow it's just a one-point game again. 57-56, Rice in front with 3.5 minutes to play. Smith to Wiggins. Wiggins over to Mulkey. Nancy Mulkey hanging onto it, slings it back to Wiggins. Wiggins trying to get around defenders, goes outside now here to Crossweight. Crossweight with it, being guarded by Destiny Brooks. Crossweight goes back, 8 to shoot. Wiggins with it. Sydney Wiggins trying to get around defenders. Wiggins 4 to shoot. 3 down low to Mulkey. Mulkey shot up, no good, and Lampkin comes down with it, and then a foul called on Rice. It's going to be on Jasmine Smith as she gets called for her third personal. And North Texas now trying to take a lead here on this possession. 57-56. Career high for Jazzion Jackson, who's got 20 points. Gets this one to Brooks. Brooks turning on the three-point ball. Shot up, no good. Fight for the rebound. Still loose and somehow taken away by Crosway through traffic. Now she throws on the brakes and allows the rest of the offense to catch up with her. It's Smith with it. Wiggins zings it down low to Crosway. Crosway turns, fires, knocks it down. 59-56 is the score. Rice in front. It's now Jackson back the other way with it. Hands this one off to Destiny Brooks. Brooks over to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it. Boyd to Brooks. Brooks faking a three. Now walking this one up, trying to get it to Jackson. Spinning, kicks this one to Tamisha Lampkin. Lampkin driving inside. Lampkin shot blocked out by Nancy Mulkey with 6 left on the shot clock. Mulkey now with 7 blocks in this game. Quick inbound and a quick shot here for North Texas. 6 seconds on the shot clock, 2 minutes to play in this game. They quickly get it into Brooks. 5 seconds to a wide open Tamisha Lampkin, who couldn't get it to go. Put back, still would not go, and Nancy Mulkey comes away with the rebound there. 59-56, minute 45 to play here. Rice trying to hang on. It is Mulkey with it. Over to Crosway. Crosway trying to drive inside to Smith, and Smith lost control of it out of bounds. Noble and Villas both check back in. 1:36 to play. Rice is in front by 3, 59-56. It's Jazzion Jackson with it, who's got a game-high 20 points. Jackson looking. Jackson fighting through. Jackson throws on the brakes, goes outside to Maddie Townley, who's immediately guarded by Mulkey. Townley to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it, trying to drive down low. Now Boyd comes back up top. 8 to shoot. Townley outside with it. Townley driving, creating space. Maddie Townley shot up, no good, and a foul called on Rice. It's going to be on Nancy Mulkey. Two shots here for Maddie Townley. 58% free throw shooter coming into this game, and 2 big free throws here with 70 seconds to play, and she makes the first. Makes it 59-57. Second attempt. Good. 1-point game. 59-58 with 1:10 to play. Coming down to the wire. It is Smith with it, being guarded by Jackson. Smith looking. Smith driving inside. She found some space, lays it up and lays it in. Back up to a 3-point game. North Texas back with it. Jackson over to Nia Boyd. Boyd to tie it up. Boyd pops off the top of the rim. No good, and a fight for the rebound. And then whistles and a call comes against North Texas. Going to be on Emma Villas. Picks up her third 3-point Rice game with 49 seconds to play. There we go. Jasmine Smith working this one up the floor, being guarded closely by Jazzion Jackson. It's a 3-point advantage for the Owls. They work this one around. It's Schwartz with it. 37 seconds, 35. Still counting. Schwartz digging. Over now to Mulkey. Finds Wiggins with it. Wiggins trying to drive inside. Wiggins shot up. Got it, and the foul for Sydney Wiggins, and that might do it. It's on Tamisha Lampkin. She picks up her second, but Rice, 3 of their last 3. And the Owls propelling themselves off of that 12-0 run, just a little too much for the Mean Green to likely overcome late here as the three-point plays good and a timeout taken by North Texas. So here we go. Quick inbound and a quick three for North Texas. They get it to Brooks. Brooks over to Jackson. Jackson trying to drive inside, 20 seconds. Jackson outside to Townley. Townley across to Emma Villas, puts up the three-pointer, in and out, no good, and it's grabbed by Rice with 13 seconds left. Smith brings it up, and Jackson commits the intentional foul. And Rice looking like will hang on for the win in a hard-fought game. 11 seconds left. I think North Texas still had a foul to give. And they did. They still have another foul to give. It was only their third team foul. There's the inbound to Smith, and North Texas may wave the white flag here. 6 seconds, and it looks like they will. Rice is going to come away with a 64-58 win as they improve to 16-2, 12-1 in conference. North Texas drops to 12.